What's going on, guys? So today we have a special episode. We got Sean from the Hall of Omens book, and you know what? The last one was amazing. So let's go ahead and do another one. So Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself? If people haven't heard about you before, tell us your story and all that good stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, first off, thank you for having me. This is fantastic. This is also the first time I'm getting to talk about the book. So, again, greatly appreciate it, man. I know we just kind of lost pre-order and everything. So, thank you. Thank you for this. Yes, my name is Sean McKeone. A lot of people know me as Buddha. It's been a nickname since literally 5th grade. I was in a band for 25 years. People know me as Buddha from that as well. That's why the Buddha's there on the screen. But yes, I am the author, and I was I was also called the project lead. I was told I should go by that because of the Hall of Omens, the unofficial ultimate guide to ThunderCats toys and beyond, and also now the new book that is currently up for pre-order, Hall of Omens Thunderverse, the unofficial ultimate collector's guide to ThunderCats, Silverhawks, and TigerSharks.
TigerSharks, that's wild. Like when you reached out and you're like, I'm adding Silverhawks and TigerSharks, I was like, you gotta be joking, dude. Like who does that? I guess Sean does. So here we are.
Exactly. Well, that was kind of one of the things. Like as I was out, well, I can tell there's always a long story, and I talk a lot, so I'll try to keep things short.
Okay,
so this doesn't need to be like a 5-hour thing for me. But like while I was doing the shows with the first book, a lot of people kept asking. They're like, "Oh man, there really needs to be a Silverhawks book." Like that was like the main thing, and people didn't know at the time I had been working on it. But again, Silverhawks is awesome. But like to do a book solely on Silverhawks, it would kind of be a small book. And TigerSharks would have been a pamphlet. Like I love it, but there's really not much. There's not much to it. So while I was putting all this together, the idea was like, "Yo, this needs to be all together." Just like now, when you watch a video about whatever it is, like, someone talking about ThunderCats or Silverhawks or even TigerSharks, they always mention the three together.
Oh, yeah.
And like, the land, sea, and air, and it's like, the Rankin Bass, the cartoons. So it was like, if there's going to be a book, they all three need to be together. Like, why not together? If you can make it happen, they all three need to be all in one book.
How many pages was your first book? I have it, but
So
how many pages?
I forget the exact number, but I want to say like probably 230, something like that. Again, between 220, 230, I believe. I think.
And this one,
yes, this one is almost 4 times the size of the first book. This one we're looking at. It's over 850 pages. It's wild, quite frankly. And I will say, while we were doing this, I did not realize it was going to be that large when we started doing it. And,
I mean, did you kind of think about were you thinking about like doing a volume 1 or 2, or you're just like, let's get it one and done?
It was kind of the idea was there to do the volume 1 and 2. But so in Thunderverse, in the new book, here, I'll give you a little bit of a longer story. With the first book, with the Hall of Omens, the unofficial ultimate guide, we didn't know, I say we, it's myself and my partner Mike, who does all the layouts and designs and all that. We've never done a book. We've never done a book before or anything like that. We had, we've done the band thing, everything. We've done TV stuff. We've done all kinds of crap, and we would always just kind of be like, hey, you know what? Let's just do it. We'll figure it out. How hard can it be? And then you start doing something, then you realize, it's kind of hard. Yeah. And that was like the book. We didn't realize how long it was going to take. And just how much, literally hours upon hours upon hours, just a day that we didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
So as we're going on it, it kind of got to the point we're having this talk, and we're almost like, I think we're over 2 years at this point putting the first book together. And he's just like, hey man, listen, he's not a collector. He's been a friend forever. He loves this kind of stuff, but he's just not a collector. That's not his thing.
Right.
He's like, we've been working on it for so long. He's like, we don't know if anyone's going to buy this. If we're going to do this idea that you want to do, which was have everything all in one book, he was like, it's going to take probably another 2 or 3 years. And he's like, I can't commit to a 5 or 6 year project that, you know, I know it's a passion project for me. It wasn't for him. And he's like, dude, we might do all of this and we might, you know, make $20. Like one book might sell.
Yeah.
So I was totally understood. I was like, no, dude, I get it. So that's why what we did with the first book, we're like, okay, if we're going to do something, here's the thing to test the water. Let's just do ThunderCats. Obviously, ThunderCats, ThunderCats in itself is a niche market to begin with.
Oh, for sure.
But Silverhawks and TigerSharks and even ThunderCats merchandise, even the 2011 line, all of that stuff is also like a niche within that niche.
Right.
So it's like, all right, well, let's focus on ThunderCats, the vintage ThunderCats, and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, we had been working on it for all this time. No one really knew we were working on it because I wasn't putting it out there except for the few people I had talked to that contributed to the book. And we kind of launched the pre-order on the anniversary day of the debut of the ThunderCats cartoon, just kind of out of the blue. And also because something leaked, because it was our fault, but it leaked on Instagram because we left the hashtag on something, prepare or something. But okay, let's just get it out there. Mm-hmm. And then pre-orders started kind of coming in like, what way? Like, oh, all right, people care. Yeah. And then, you know, it slowed down as things do. And, you know, at that time, we already had the books ordered. No one knew that. And basically, people were pre-ordering it. They ended up getting the book about a month later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
People were not expecting because, you know, hey, I'm a collector now too. You know, I collect, you know, Super 7. You put an order, you pre-order something, you're getting a year and a half.
Yeah, you forget about it. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, the collectors know that, but not everybody does. You know, like your average person will just be like, well, I don't want to wait that long. So that was really cool. It's kind of a surprise, which I did kind of on purpose because I know what that's like having to wait forever. But so people were getting it like a month later, whatever it was. And then we kind of got another bump once people started seeing like, oh, wow, people like they got it quickly. People started receiving it and knew it was legit as well because no one knew who I was. So it was like I didn't have a following. People from the band knew me, but this has nothing to do with them.
Yeah. So, I forget what band was it that you're in?
I was in this band, Wolfpack.
That's right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And you know, so there's not much of like there are fans of this type of stuff within you know the audience of that, but there's not a ton of crossover in between.
Yeah.
But so and then we started seeing like people really cared. I started getting to go to these different shows, getting asked to shows, and more people wanted the book. We sold out of our first printing almost. I think it was like 2 months in, and then after that, Big Bad Toy Store came through, and we had what was left of our second printing. That Big Bad Toy Store bought out the entire what we had left in the inventory of the second printing. Wow! So at that point, you know, me and Mike were talking, and he was kind of like, "All right, man, I'm on board. Like, people care. Let's do it. You know, like let's continue going on." And that whole time, though, I never stopped working on what I was thinking of being the next. But then that first book almost kind of became a proof of concept. Like, people care. So it's like people care, and we did it at least, you know, we did it well enough that people enjoy it. So he was on board. We talked to our photographer from the first book. He was on board. And then we just kind of kept on working from the new book or for this new book from almost a month after the first book basically released and people had it in their hands.
That's wild. I mean, that was 2 years ago?
Yeah, about what was it March of not this year, last year, I believe.
That's wild.
And there was some work that was already done too, but that was stuff that we kind of got pushed to the side because all right, man, let's just focus on this and see how it does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. So yeah, you are definitely passionate about this stuff. That's crazy, man. I love it. I love it.
I've been a ThunderCat. I've been collecting ThunderCats for over 25 years. Like I'm a huge ThunderCats fan. So like, yes, I'm very passionate. And that's why like at the time, even with the first book, I was like, ThunderCats needs a book.
Yeah.
And that one of the things that was really cool once the book came out, a lot of people, because again, we add the foreign stuff. We add like everything. People didn't know, like, again, your diehard collectors know about the foreign stuff. but not everyone does. So a lot of people, one of the things that's been cool, they're like, man, I had no idea there was so much stuff. Like to even have a book like as large as that one was, we had no idea.
Yeah. So speaking of ThunderCats,
yes,
and the second book being 850 pages, what new ThunderCats stuff is going to be inside?
Okay, so the first, well, now I don't know the exact number. So in the new book in Thunderverse, there is a new, totally revamped a full second edition of the first book with new interviews, revamped pages, some stuff. There's like new designs where we got it. Like, okay, well, we can make these accessories bigger, you know, and show things bigger. We also, I know there's over in the ThunderCats alone, I know there's over 200 and I'm not exactly sure the number, but I know there's over 200 or so new photos from the first book. So like totally new stuff. That's all from that one, like pre-production stuff. Oh, like on the screen right there, where there's that's an addition. The early,
really,
some of the prototype hammers that didn't end up getting made. Again, new information, and again, over 200 and some photos of brand new stuff for the second edition of the book.
That's wild. And you even got like just like the first book. I mean, you got the merchandising stuff in here too. I mean, that's just so sick. Like I've never seen that before. Like sparkle gun in the big.
That's what one of the things. So when I started collecting back in the day, I started getting into the merchandise. I got into the merchandise before the toys.
Okay, that's cool.
So that was in the first book. I really wanted to put the merchandise, but again, when we were talking, I was like, "Oh man, this is going to take a long time," because it was like over 1,500 pieces of ThunderCats merchandise and like ThunderCats stuff. So it was going to be like, "Yo, this is going to take some time if we're going to do this." So that's why that stuff kind of got pushed to the side, except for sporadically in the book. I was able to kind of get some things here and there, and that was also to see if people cared. Because again, I know I like the merchandise, but not everyone does.
Right.
But the feedback we were getting from the first book, a lot of people, oh man, I wish there was more merchandise. Because they'd see one thing and be like, oh, that's really cool. I wish there was more of that. So that was another one of the factors. We're like, okay, well, it looks like we should do this new book. We should do the Thunderverse thing and kind of add more.
So since you 1,500 pieces of merchandise, that's wild. So is all of this stuff from your PC, or did you have to reach out to certain other collectors?
So a lot of it is personal collection stuff, but I definitely reached out to different collectors again from all over the world, just like the first book where yes, I was the author, I was the guy putting it all together. It really was like, if you check out the credits page, man, it's like a laundry list because there were so many people. Like when we were doing it, if I was going to do the book just like this book, if I'm going to do it, I want to have everything. Like with merchandise, that you can never have all the merchandise because especially internationally, there's so much stuff. But we've got hundreds of pages of merchandise from comic books, as you saw, like well, in the section I believe I call it the weapons room, which is all the different types of like the water guns and like the sparkler guns and all that type of stuff, and just like and weird stuff that you've never seen before, stuff that I had never seen. Oh, the UK comics there. So the comic section is huge because we've got comics from all over the world, not just the US. We've got the full run of the UK comics. We've got comics from Argentina, Brazil, Greece. I'm drawing a blank. I know there's a couple of
there's a lot.
China.
Oh, China. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's only like one or two of that because they're a lot harder to find. But also Germany, we've got, I think there was like 5 released in Germany. We've got those. I think Holland, even, I think there were some. And again, that was also one of the things, one of the overarching things that I wanted to show in the first book, which continued on in this one, was that while, yes, ThunderCats is a niche, in the 1985 through 87, 88, man, it was really a global phenomenon, showing you how much of a reach it really had. That's why I wanted to show in the first book, we showed the foreign lines. And with this, showing just how much merchandise was made all over the world. And then also to represent those people, because over the years, I've made a lot of friends from South America and, like Europe, that the Thundercats that we know here in the U.S. are different than the Thundercats that they know. So like they get to have, they get to be represented in the book too. Like there's the one thing with the glasses from, I think there was Peru. Like in the U.S. you never see those, but kids in Peru, or was it Peru, Brazil? There's several different glasses in the book. I forget which ones. Sure. But like those are the ones that they had. So now that they can see it, and now they get that nostalgia hit that we were all getting in the U.S. with different pages that we released with, in the first book.
Now I feel like I've heard this before. Did ThunderCats hit a little later in other countries, and like people discovered it later, or something like that?
So yeah. So basically, when it came here, it did huge, and then after that is when ThunderCats kind of started getting picked up elsewhere. Okay. And then the other part is crazy too. Like obviously, ThunderCats had like a solid, I believe it was like 3-year run when it was like probably 2.5 when it was like huge. But then there were other parts of the world, the entire cartoon didn't come out. So they only saw like season number 1, which granted, that was still like 60 something episodes or whatever. Sure. But like, so they're not as familiar with characters like Bengali, Linkso, the Lunatics and stuff like that. Yeah. But they love the character. Yeah, there you go. It's like the Peru glasses. Like, I never knew those existed for the longest time until I started meeting people, meeting them, like, I say meeting, but meeting them online. And they're like, oh, yeah, I have this. Have you ever seen it? I'm like, no, what is that?
I need it.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I had all these as a kid and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that stuff to me, loving the merchandise is so cool to see because you never see that kind of stuff here in the U.S. where, granted, you might go down to Peru and everyone might have that in their cabinet because that's just what they had,
Yeah, that's what they drank from, dude. That's so cool. Are these pretty expensive for over here compared to...
Getting them here, like, well, it's funny. Well, I know you collect and you do everything you do. Shipping prices are ridiculous.
Oh, shipping, yeah.
And so international shipping prices are even crazier now. But getting them, it's funny because like when you look at it, even like the glasses that are around, if you're here in the U.S., you don't want to pay more than like $20 for like a glass or something. Yeah. But then when you're trying to get that, it's like, great. Yeah. Oh, cool. I got the glass for $20 and now I got to pay $3 and hope it doesn't, or $30 and hope it doesn't break in international shipping. Like, so I will also say this. I let people know this all the time. When it comes to values and prices, I'm not good. I've always been the guy that collects and I was never really a seller. Just recently I've got into that a little bit. I've always been like the information guy and the documenting and hey man, this exists. But like I wouldn't even know. I don't think I've ever seen one of those glasses in the U.S. Honestly,
that's wild.
But if I'm wrong, please. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Somebody's like, well, actually, I've seen one in wherever. Yeah, but I've been all over. I've never seen them before. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I hope happens with the book. It was great with the first book. I heard that a lot, and well, obviously, I can't make a guarantee because there's a lot of collectors out there. But in the new book, Thunderverse, I promise, there's going to be stuff in there that people have never seen before, didn't know it existed. And that's just not on the merchandise. That goes for toys as well.
Figures, yeah.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. So all the glow-in-the-dark clothing, that's all personal collection stuff.
So this is your stuff right here?
Yeah.
Nice.
All the glow-in-the-dark, again, that's why it's all the same mannequin and everything. I love glow-in-the-dark. And one of the things I got into, man, I don't even know, it was a real long time ago. I got into the clothing just because the vintage clothing was such a nostalgia trip for me. It's like, oh man, this is so cool. And then at the time, half of them, I didn't realize they glow in the dark until I learned one did. And then I started checking all of them. And that's when I ended up finding out how much stuff, which again makes sense. In the 80s, if you had pajamas, they glue in the dark. That's just what happened in the 80s.
That was our thing, man.
Yeah. And there's, again, I don't know the exact number, but man, there's pages. There's not just this one page. There's several pages of just glow in the dark clothing that's in there, which I absolutely love it. It's one of my,
I love that.
One of my favorite sections, but it's obviously I'm biased since I'm going to say every section is my favorite. But,
love it all. So in this, like the last one you had, what was it, the not Broadway show, but there's a
ThunderCats Live. Yeah.
ThunderCats Live. Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything in the new book that kind of tops that? Because for me, myself, that was like one of the most my favorite read, I think, in the
well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so funny enough, I'll give you, I know you're saying I was passionate about stuff. So little backstory on that. I didn't get to see it when I was a kid, didn't know it existed. In the early 2000s is when I learned about it. And again, being in the band and everything, that's when it connected with me because I was on tour a lot. So I was kind of like, yo, here's a ThunderCats thing that toured. I need to find out about this. And then again, even I'm sure you may have looked, finding anything about ThunderCats Live out on the internet there's not much out there other than like the random pieces of merchandise, the commercial that's out there and stuff like that. So I started doing research for years. I mean, probably an easy like 15 years just trying to research this stuff. But then, as things happen, I send random emails, do this and that. Then I was able to finally get all of that together. So in the new book, I do kind of totally. My idea for the first book, so was the idea was going to be basically a 1 or 2 page thing talking about me researching about this thing because it was a totally like forgotten about piece of ThunderCats history, and that was the original idea until a couple doors opened, and then it opened up everything from connecting with some people to learn everything about it. Whereas like I'm now getting photos from behind the scenes. I'm getting all of this. I'm talking to people that were on the cast. So that it kind of turned into that. So then what I had wrote, what it ended up being kind of became the write-up of the actual show. Like, hey, here's the show. This is what happened. So it kind of changed immensely. And then, so in this new book, I've now expanded on the ThunderCats Live section and kind of rewrote stuff where, again, it tells you what happened in it, but there's more information about it that's not just about the show itself. Like when you watch the commercial, and even in some of the photos, you see the dirt bikes, and the dirt bikes didn't make it on tour because that got pulled because of insurance things and whatnot before, literally a couple weeks before it's set to hit out. So like there's information like that, like again, just the information I found out over the years that just didn't make it into the new one because I was more excited. Like, no, guys, here's ThunderCats Live. Here's what it was. Here's everything about it, like the show itself. And so I totally redid. There's a whole new write-up for the ThunderCats Live, and there's dozens of new photos from ThunderCats Live where like the first book, because it was a ThunderCats book, focused mostly, they had Silverhawk stuff, it had a TigerShark thing here and there, but this time, since now this is the Thunderverse has ThunderCats, Silverhawks, TigerSharks, it has a lot of all of them. There's more Silverhawks photos from ThunderCats Live, more TigerSharks, more Gumby and Pokey, more Karate Cat, more everything that the show itself really entailed is in there. More merchandise from the show. Then this was another really cool thing. So it wasn't this ThunderCats Live, but there was a ThunderCats Live show in Canada. Which actually took place at, I believe it's called Wonderland in Canada.
Like
and
a theme
I have
park?
a couple photos. What's that?
Like a theme park? Or something like that?
Exactly. It was kind of like our Six Flags.
Cool.
Kind of something like that. But, here by me, I'm at Dorney Park, and one of the things they used to do have like peanut characters and stuff like that. So ThunderCats actually they did a run at Wonderland where they had the same costumes. There's a whole live show. So this one, there's a section about ThunderCats Live in Canada. Granted, again, two totally different shows, different costumes, different things, two totally different stories. But cool. Yeah, that was a cool thing. Learning about that, I thought it was really cool. Like, I love that kind of stuff because that's, again, the forgotten history and things that happen that, why would you know?
Yeah, for sure. I love that. So moving on to Silverhawks.
Yes.
What are some things that you found out doing their section in your book that just kind of like blew your mind? Like, what are a couple like little things you can give away?
Oh no, yeah, of course. So well, again, like I kind of figured this. So I didn't collect Silverhawks like exclusively. Like again, when you collect ThunderCats, you end up getting a couple Silverhawks because you'll buy the lot, and there's a Quicksilver in there, there's a Buzzsaw, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so there, this was a very big learning experience for me doing the Silverhawks line, especially just because I didn't know a lot about the lines itself. You know, I appreciated it. I had some, but it was never like my major focus. And then again, when I knew I was going to do this, I had a buddy Dom. He no longer works there, but he worked at the sort Twee Cantina here in PA.
Okay.
When I did the book, he would always joke around with ThunderCats, and he would always mess with me too, because he was like, he was a Silverhawks fan. He collected ThunderCats, but he's like, no, I got the Silverhawks line. He's like, so man, all right, when are you going to do the Silverhawks? When are you going to do the Silverhawks? And then I finally was like, well, funny enough, I am. He's like, what? So then, like, it was a lot of the Silverhawks, the main Kenner line, are like from his personal collection.
Nice.
But what was funny is, so like at this time, I'm doing a lot of the research, learning about the foreign lines, because I knew, again, from like ThunderCats, you knew, oh yeah, there's going to be foreign figures. But so we're going through, we're setting the pages up, and I'm looking at the photo, and now I'm looking, I hit him up, I'm like, hey man, I forget what figure it was. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank right now. I think it was Stargazer, and there was Stargazer and Flashback. I hit him up, and I'm like, hey man, these ones you have are the Argentina ones? Is it like, no, they're not. I'm like, no, dude, they are. And like, he's like, oh man, I had no idea. So it was just kind of cool as a like learning all the,
already
a whole new line, foreign stuff. I'm sorry, what was that?
Love it. I said, no, you're just learning, like, just the first right off the jump. You just like, oh man, these are freaking Argentinian. Like, what?
Yeah, right. And like, what was so funny is like we had the pages done, because like you were like, okay, well, we got the Kenner stuff. Let's hammer it out. Boom, got it done. Then we're going, and then like as I'm learning, I'm like, well, wait a second, wait a minute. So then I hit him up to let it, because I was like, again, this was also then me referencing my information to be like, well, wait, am I right here? Is the stuff that the stuff I'm learning, is that accurate? And then it was like, oh yeah, so that's the Argentina thing. And then the one that blew my mind is the Mexico release of the Silverhawk stuff. That's because they are so rare trying to find them. Like you never see them. And like I personally, they come in like a different like box. I love the box for that. Like again, their cards are really cool and everything, but I've always like what's the word? Well, I always have a thing with something that's a little bit different. I always just kind of like that,
Yeah, gravitate. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the Mexican ones did. So then that was cool learning. I knew this from the ThunderCats stuff, how large, especially in Latin and South America, ThunderCats was. Silverhawks may have been even, man, if ThunderCats was here, Silverhawks was like right
close
there. You know what I mean? And it was even funny, like last year I was at a show in Jersey, and I was actually on the way out, and a guy came over. I was wearing a ThunderCats shirt, and he started talking to me. He's like, "Oh yeah." Like I think he was from Mexico, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I like ThunderCats, but like Silverhawks was my thing." Like he absolutely loved them, and learning how big Silverhawks was in South America and Latin America it's crazy, because I just didn't know. Like one of the cool things again in the new book, I did it in the first book. I kind of have like artist spotlight and show different artists and the work that they do. In the new book, I do that as well. But like
that's awesome.
there's an amazing art piece where it's graffiti, but I mean it is a mural that takes up like an entire block. It's gigantic. It may not be a block, but it's a lot. It's a really big piece of real estate. And I connected with the guy and whatnot. And then again, just hearing about how big Silverhawks really was down there, I had no idea. Because why would we? That information just doesn't get out here until you talk to people that were from there and kind of let you know that type of stuff.
Sure. That's crazy. And
like I will say, and also some of the variations from the Argentina line are just really cool, man. Again, like once you get to collecting, you start doing the variations and the foreign stuff. You go down that rabbit hole, and opens up to a whole wide new world.
Yep.
Some of them are just so cool, where it's like, the skin color's like pink now. I was like, I don't know why, but I like it.
I like it. Yeah, it looks so much better.
Yeah, right.
I get it, man. So let's talk about TigerSharks. Like, what can you tell us about your section about TigerSharks in the new?
So the TigerSharks line, this was another one. I did not have any of them in my personal collection because, quite frankly, I can't afford TigerSharks. I mean, like
pricey.
100%. Like, and so this was one I was kind of reaching out to people because again, it was like, it was kind of one, not the last things to get done, but it was like, man, are we going to get it? But then I talked to a buddy, Carlos Beren. Carlos, if you're watching, I screwed up your last name. I apologize. But he was like, oh, well, I actually have almost the whole line. I was like, dude, what? And then at that point, he said, he sent us some photos. We were able to edit them. Then it was just kind of filling the holes of the ones that he didn't have. And I was able to connect with the collector in Japan. He had some stuff, a collector, a couple of different people. Then there's another guy. He had stuff carded, which that blew my mind. Seeing carded Tiger Sharks was like, dude, what? Like, okay, so you can retire based on those. But
you're good.
But yeah, so we were able to, it's a much smaller line, obviously. Sure. It didn't go that long. It's only, like 8 or 9 figures?
9. Something.
And so we've got the whole line. We've got them carded. We have all the accessories. They're all complete. We do have, this was great because this was one I was really hoping to do because, again, with the ThunderCats section in the first book as well, Silverhawks, we were able to include prototypes and pre-production stuff.
That's
Right. And I was like, I put that thing out there as like, oh man, it's a wild goose chase. I've never in my life seen a tiger shark prototype. And then I started going down, the rabbit hole, seeing what I could find. And I have found some tiger shark prototypes that are in the book. I can say, I'm not going to say what it is, but there is also a unreleased prototype of a character from Tiger Sharks in the book that there's rumor that you can find some other prototypes of unreleased figures that were online. You can find them when you're looking. It's not that one. This is a total other one, which I believe is the wax sculpt of it. Might be a hard copy. Again, I apologize. I forget which one's which.
A lot of information.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of information on 850 pages.
For sure. I feel you.
But yeah, to me, it was totally unknown. And again, I'm not going to, at this point, I'm not going to give that out. I can't wait for people to see that and be like, dude, what?
Surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's also there's the unproduced photos that were also in the LJN, the 87 catalog, because that was in my collection, which again, a lot of people have seen them, like the Saw Bill, the Sark and that stuff. Again, it's got to be in there, because some people have never seen it. They've never done the looking, but so that's in there. And so one of the cool things, again, I got to do a lot of interviews with different creators like Peter Lawrence, Chris Trengrove. And these were all guys that worked on the show. So there's information from those guys about again, each of the different shows, and it's funny because it's man, there's 8, there's not really 8, but there's several different interview pages where oh man, well, here's the interview with Peter Lawrence about ThunderCats. Here's an interview with Peter Lawrence about Silverhawks. So you get, so each one of the things that was important to me was putting the same amount of love into this book and the other lines that I did with that first book. I didn't want it to be oh, it's just stuff you threw in there and whatever. I really, again, and now I have a new appreciation for all the lines as well, because again, I've learned so much about them, got to talk to the creators, got to talk to voice actors about it. Oh, wow. Here's one. I think, some people have seen the press kit. I got to interview Maggie Wheeler, who did a voice in Silverhawks. And she also did some voices on the different comic strip things. And she thinks she did a voice on Tiger Sharks. She doesn't really remember. She just kind of oh, yeah, I think. But
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. But getting to talk to them, it was really just really cool, kind of really opening and shedding more light on these lines, which, again, there are Silverhawk collectors that are super passionate about that. I will say Tiger Sharks, there's not as many people that are super passionate other than collectors. Because those are kind of the ones that know. But like I said, it was really important to me, really being able to showcase them all just like how I did in the first book, and then the ThunderCats section showing no guys, these aren't just an afterthought. These are this is granted, yes, someone's going to say they may have the entire room hell here. I've got ThunderCats room here. Yeah. Someone, I'm sure there's a guy that has the Silverhawks and he knows more, and I'm sure he does, and I love that passion. Yeah. But I try to put as much love into each of these sections as I could to show, oh man, they're all equally important. They were all part of they're all part of the Thunderverse, man.
Yep. 100%. Going back to ThunderCats, so the first book was all vintage merchandise.
Yes. Yep.
All of that. Do you have any of the later the restart of the ThunderCats? Was that 2011 or
the 2011 line? Yes. Yeah. So next year, 2026 is actually the 15th anniversary of that show. So it was kind of one of the things to me, it was important to put it in there. Again, I was a fan of the 2011 show. I know not everybody was.
I liked
which,
it.
Yeah, like it was. I thought it was ahead of its time. The writing I thought was really good. And like anything, yes, were things done that I wouldn't have done, of course. But you know what? Wasn't my story to tell. But I love the show. It is a shame that the toys did have something to do with the downfall of it because they weren't selling. But there's a lot of other things that go into that than just the toys. But I don't know if you've seen. So again, doing a lot of these shows, I've been seeing again when I do the shows with the Buys the BOD. They have they've got everything you want toy wise. There's a whole variety of stuff. But over the last couple of years, the one things I was noticing was the 2011 stuff was getting more interest, and the prices on it started going up. And now again, it's not like crazy prices. Yeah. But going from $5 to $20, it's a significant.
That's a hike. Yeah.
Which it makes sense. The people that were watching it when they were kids are now older. They're 10 years older. If they were 10 years old, you're now 20, and you're starting to get a little bit of that disposable income where you want to start collecting a little bit.
All right.
And even the people that were older, like that were my age, I'm 42. People that watch it for that, a lot of them have all the vintage stuff now that they wanted to get. So now they're looking for different avenues. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? The 2011, in my opinion, really should have gone in there. It was one, again, this was a lot of personal collection stuff because I collected that line. I had to reach out for some, there's variations that at the time I was collecting them, I wish I would have known. I did find out some of them later, but different, again, just like the first book and the other sections, it has all the variations. There's foreign variations as well, like even the packaging variations from Europe and stuff like that. There's interviews. There's an interview with Tab Murphy, one of the writers from ThunderCats, that series. We've got, again, now I know it's not a huge thing. There's the collectors are just starting to get there. You know what I mean? And but again, they're, in my opinion, yes, they are part of the Thunderverse. Again, it's not the vintage one, but here they are. So I wanted to put them in there, and it gave me the possibility on the cover, on the standard cover that has everybody, to pay a little homage to the old ThunderCats packaging with the blue on the corner showing Mumra there. We did that with Lion-O from the 2011. Just to kind of show people, again, pay homage to that and let fans know, hey, this is also in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heck yes. So if you do a next book, I have a request.
Okay.
Dino saucers.
Oh, dude, I would love to do that. Like now, finding them, and that's again the hardest part there. But no, dude,
I know a guy.
Is such a cool line. And I will say, so there are some things that have been talked about for future projects. None of them are, 100% right now, but there's things in the motion, in the early, planning, early talks, and seeing what we can possibly do. Because obviously, there's the two, one book solely on ThunderCats. Here's another one, ThunderCats, Silverhawks, TigerSharks. I'm going to say, for the most part, ThunderCats is pretty well done. Yeah. So I don't know. There's, other than little bits and pieces here, what the future might be is probably not ThunderCats related. That being said, there are a couple other ThunderCats projects I might be working on, but we don't know if they're gonna happen. There's a couple. Sure. There's definitely one that I'm really trying to get together. But but yeah, we are talking about doing some future things that are not ThunderCats related and different worlds of collecting and toy lines. Dino saucers. If I don't get to that, if someone does it, please do it, because I would love to see it. If I'm not the one doing it, that's fine. Because dude, that is such a cool line. It's such a cool line.
Yeah, love. I have the bootlegs. Obviously, I can't afford the real ones, but I was in Mexico last month. Was able to find them at a flea market. I'm like, this is the best that I'm going to get. I'm happy with it.
Oh, they're so cool. Well, while you were in Mexico, I have to ask this because I've been told this about 100 times. Were you seeing bootleg Silverhawks or Silverhawk stuff anywhere? Because I would always hear at flea markets there, they were like all over the place there.
So I was in Juarez, and the two guys that kind of guided me into Mexico and stuff, they have connections in Mexico City. Okay. And yes, Silverhawks everywhere. for
right?
sure. Yeah, like the bigger like blow mold ones, like the figures. I mean, you name it, that they said it's loaded for sure.
Yeah, that's so
cool.
Yeah. Like that was one of the things. Like, actually, this is one of the things I kind of learned through even the first book, and then even more so in this one, where it's like obviously it makes total sense, but like I never really thought about it. Where the figures, like the licensed figures stuff, didn't do that well in the South America and Latin America, but bootlegs did because of the price. So it was like, even though the line itself may not have sold well, it was because people just weren't, either couldn't afford it or they didn't want to pay whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, but like the bootlegs and that stuff was like huge. It was like all over the place.
Yeah, it's they got so much in Mexico City for sure. Of all that goodness.
Oh yeah, like, and that's what people like have asked me, like, oh man, you even tell me, like, you should do like a ThunderCats bootleg book, which I don't have the collection for that. I know there are people that do, but that's almost also
a
never-ending book.
Yeah,
like it would be ridiculous of how much stuff. Like I wouldn't even know how to go about doing that because
how could you confirm any of it? Or most of it.
That's the other thing. Yeah, like especially what in the late 2000s. I say late early 2000s, like 2005, 8 time, when all these, well, yes, they're bootlegs, but all the bootlegs that were claiming to be vintage and stuff like that started appearing out of nowhere. But they don't necessarily quite look like they're vintage. Like, you start getting into that, weird territory, area. Which
that would make it hard.
Yeah, which now, granted, I guarantee there's multiple guys out there that know, like, oh yeah, no, this is this, this is this, this is this.
Yeah.
I'm just not that guy, and I would love to talk to them to learn some of that stuff because we did think about putting some bootlegs in the new book, but again, that was one of the things we stayed away from. Although there might be one page of just a bootleg thing, and just because they're so cool, like that's. Again, I can't say more about that, but it was kind of one of those where it's like, because even that was up for debate where someone's like, I don't know if it's like 80s vintage, but it might be like late 90s. So yeah,
one of those things for sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, so where and when can everybody pre-order this book? This is crazy.
So thank you. So right now, you can pre-order the book, and if for U.S. orders, if you pre-order it right now, and this ends on Monday night, you can pre-order the book and get free U.S. shipping. So even if you live in another country, if you have a friend in the U.S., then you can work it out. Because we've gotten some emails from people who think that, but you can go to ThunderCatsToyGuide.com or Thunder-Verse.com. or SilverhawksToyGuide.com. We got all of those covered.
You got them all.
Yeah, just in case. But the main one, because again, as we were promoting, ThunderCatsToyGuide.com. You can order it. It takes you to, it's a different web page. Our original page, we had different webmaster. This time around, he was no longer doing web stuff, so we had to kind of change plans, and we now do it through Shopify. But you can order it there on Shopify. The pre-order, again, the free U.S. shipping pre-order ends on Monday night. The pre-order is going to continue, but free U.S. shipping ends on Monday night. You can order it there. Right now, what we're expecting, again, with international shipping being what it is and whatnot, where we are expecting a late March, early April release. Now, again, that's assuming there's no issues anywhere. But again, if you can also sign up on the mailing list that's on there. We can keep people updated that do pre-order it, anything like that. And yes, the international sales are open. You can order if you're internationally. You can order it on ThunderCatsToyGuide.com. But I will say this. So we have it, I think, like 3 or 4 times almost on a page on Shopify so people can see it. But because we go through Shopify gets different shipping rates. So sometimes you'll see like, oh man, the shipping's expensive, which yes, some of their shipping rates are expensive, but that's also because international shipping has just been ridiculously priced.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
But if you are international, you can send us an email and at ThunderCatsToyGuide@gmail.com. And there's a lot of times PayPal actually can get a better shipping rate than Shopify.
Okay.
And so if you email us, let us know. We just need your name, address, and then well, we can get you the quote, and then if you want it, they just have to let us know what cover and everything, and then we can send you an invoice via PayPal. That way, it's all done via PayPal. Again, like I really urge people to do that, especially UK fans, because the PayPal does seem to get a better rate for shipping than Shopify is able to.
Nice.
But yeah, again, if you don't want to go the PayPal route and you don't want to email us at ThunderCatsToyGuide.com, Shopify can take care of all that.
And the book is $70.
Yes,
correct?
it is $70.
Okay.
The shipping when it comes out, again, the free shipping right now for the US is free until Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Then after Monday, it'll just be whatever the shipping is for, like Shopify handles like the automatic type thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not a flat rate or anything. So it'll just be based on the location and all that.
Now is there two different covers? Because you
Yes.
have the exclusive, right?
Yep. Yeah, there are two different covers. There's the standard cover that has all the figures on it, which it represents every line. And then the exclusive cover, this was an amazing thing. Again, Kyle Lambert, he did the cover of the first book. I absolutely love that. Again, Kyle is the official artist for Stranger Things. He does work for The Boys, Gen V. Basically, when Netflix and Amazon Prime is putting something out, they go to Kyle. He's a huge ThunderCats fan. He did the artwork for the first book. And then literally immediately after that, he was like, well, hey, man, if you do a second book, let me know. And I was like, well, honestly, I'm kind of hoping we do it. We started talking about this cover literally over 2 years ago.
Wow.
Because we were so excited to do a Mumra cover. And and this was done to kind of be like a matching cover to the first book where it had Lino with the cat's lair behind them. Yeah. This, you get to have Mumra matches with Mumra's tomb right there. What he did, and it's just phenomenal, man. His artwork's amazing. The books themselves, if there are any confusion, the interior of the books are the same. There's not anything different on the interior, but the cover is the exclusive Kyle Lambert artwork cover. Man, it's just so good. Like even the little skull on it, he's got the little homage to the original Mumra's tomb play set on there. I absolutely
I love it. Love it. Well, is there any? Also, I want to put this in there real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off before I forget, because I know I talk a lot and I apologize. But one of the things that was really cool that we got to do for this book, I know, like I said, there's the interviews, there's this and that. Peter Lawrence also did a foreword for the book, but that was not the only foreword that we got for the book. Froggy Flips graciously did a foreword for this book, which was awesome. Because we had talked back and forth with the first one. He has been a supporter for a long time. He's such a good guy. He's a great guy.
And he put something together for this one for us, which was awesome. That's so cool. And it was cool. He was like, yeah, man, this is the first time I ever did it. And I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, I don't know why I figured he would have done stuff. He's seen the magazines.
He probably killed it.
Yeah. So it was very cool that Froggy, there's a cool Froggy forward in there. And there's a little, brief little mention about him being a ThunderCats fan when he was a kid and stuff that he did when he was a kid. So that was really cool.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, is there anything else that the people should know about, or anything else you wanted to cover?
Let's see. Well, again, this book, obviously, like the first one, this is a continuation of a passion project. I hope when people get to see it, they feel as though they can feel how much love and passion went into this thing. It's hopefully, I just hope people like it. Coming up here in the end of November, I will be at Retro Toy Con in South Carolina.
Very nice.
So everyone come on out to that. They're doing a ThunderCats a weekend reunion event thing. I am part. They're doing a ThunderCats dinner on Friday night. I am a part of that. There's something that hasn't been announced yet, so I can't comment on it. But I will be doing something else at the convention. So if people can get to it, you should go. It's going to be an amazing time. Thank you, Toy Federation, Ryan, for having me again.
For sure. And people can follow you. I have it scrolling down here.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. Yeah, you can follow me and the book on Instagram. It's at ThunderCats Toy Guide. You can follow us on Facebook. Again, it's facebook.com/ThunderCats Toy Guide. We are on Twitter, X, whatever, and
Okay.
that's at ThunderCats Toys. ThunderCats Toys. You can follow us on that. Instagram, I love Instagram. That's more my thing. I know everyone has their own little social media thing.
Yeah.
We do also have a YouTube, but we don't really put much up on YouTube. Like we do, like when we have a video, we put it up there. Again, I believe that's also at ThunderCats Toy Guide. You can follow us there. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. The information goes out as soon as I have it. Also sign up for the mailing list. That information goes out, and that's usually a little bit more details so that you can fit more on it. But yeah, this book hopefully it comes out sooner than we're expecting, but that I can't promise. But right now, as of the schedule right now, it is late March, early April. They're at the show this weekend, or not this weekend, in the future at the Retro Toy Con. I might have a couple sample pages other than the ones that we have out. So if people want to take a look at it, again, not 100% on that one yet, because again, there'll just be loose pages. It's not going to be like an actual book or anything, but I might have some stuff for that. But yeah, please, I also thank you to everyone that supported the first book, that the continued support that we've been getting. It's been great. A lot of people have been hitting us up. And even once we announced, some people that I've been seeing being like, "Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much." And like, I just thank you all. This has been awesome.
That's so cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, I know I'm going to get myself a copy. I know other people of my buddies are going to get copies, so we cannot wait. So make sure, guys, support this book. The first one was amazing. Thank you. Go ahead and get this one. It's fantastic. Since when I got it, Sean sent me a copy. I've definitely used it 3 or 4 times. Like, let me. Reference guide, and I bring it to toy shows with me sometimes just because. 850 pages. I don't know. That might be a little heavy on my back.
Yeah, that one's going to be a little thick.
It'll be coffee table book. But no, I love it, man. Thank you so much for coming on, and guys, make sure you support this book. And until next time, peace out.